All right, we are here on this Friday morning with our special guest this morning that I wanted to have on the show because they're the newest members of our community, really. This is Dr. Stephanie Gildersleeve, correct?
Yes.
And Steffi works out at the Conneaut Creek Veterinary facility out there in West Main Road. They do a tremendous job. Next to her is Rebecca Parkamaki, and right next to her is Vanessa Dragon. And welcome, girls. I take my dog to your facility, and you do a tremendous job with that little crazy girl. But
Yes. I love Cheyenne.
she'll be coming. Cheyenne will be coming back next week. We got to make another appointment for her. But you do a tremendous job. One of the reasons I wanted to have you on, Stephanie, is to talk about the importance of vaccinations of different things that these animals need. Not only dogs, but cats, right?
Yes, cats too. Yeah, vaccination is definitely important. I mean, even in, with people, it's important, and we have to think about our animals too. I'd say, rabies is definitely important because obviously that is a fatal disease if they get that. And the concern is that if they bite you and they have rabies, then of course, there is no cure for rabies. So unfortunately, we end up passing on too. So, that's definitely, I would say, the most important vaccine to get. And in cats, we do rabies vaccine yearly. And that is due to the vaccine that we use for them. It's a little bit safer of a vaccine than the one we use on, the one we use for dogs had a potential to cause like little masses on cats. And so they found what was possibly causing that, and now the thinking has changed a little, but with the dog vaccine, we do have it as a 3-year, so that's good.
It's good for 3 years?
Yeah, well, the first shot is a 1-year, like the first time they get it.
Okay.
And then the second time, the next year, it'll be a 3-year shot.
Okay.
Yep, and then cats are yearly.
So they should keep up with it then. It's just not one shot's going to do it.
Right, it's not just one shot's going to do it.
Okay.
Until they do further research and see if it lasts longer than 3 years. Which I'm sure they always are trying to do research and see
Right.
how long it'll last. And then, another vaccine for dogs, distemper, which actually includes distemper virus, adenovirus, parvovirus, and parainfluenza. And one of the, all of those are important, but parvo is also one that is pretty detrimental if they get that virus, because it attacks the GI system, and you can't keep up with your fluids, and so it's a 50-50 chance with getting parvo too, if you live or if you die.
Yeah. I know they've shut down the APO when they've had outbreaks of parvo, so the other animals did not get exposed to it.
Right. Yeah, so that's definitely a good vaccine. Do you have some? Oh. And then we also include lepto and Lyme in our vaccines. Lepto is a bacteria, and this again is for dogs. Lepto is a bacteria spread by wild animals in the urine, and it is zoonotic, meaning that we can get lepto virus, or leptobacteria, and that can be pretty detrimental as well. I know that there's been a couple people who have gotten it, and they're hospitalized for a while.
Really?
And
Never heard of that before.
Yeah, yeah. I wouldn't say that a lot of people have heard of it before, but it is pretty serious.
Did you say limes? Like
Lepto.
Lyme?
Lepto. But Lyme is another vaccine.
Is that for like Lyme's disease?
Yeah. So we vaccinate dogs for Lyme.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, because there's a lot of ticks around here, and
Yes. Have you had any of that yet? Of course, you're pretty young in the town here, but have you had any kind of those instances with maybe Lyme's or rabies or anything like that?
When I worked in Erie, I actually did have a rabies case, and it was one that a couple of the doctors had seen it before, and then I had seen it, and it was acting neurological, and I don't know, something just told me, like, ask if they've bitten, or if this kitten has bitten the other
It was a
owners.
kitten?
Yeah, it was a kitten. It was a kitten.
Oh my God.
And they said, yeah, it did, bite us. And for some reason, I was just like, this cat has to be sent out
What do you do? Do you have to put them down?
We do have to
If
put
they
them.
don't naturally pass away on their own.
Right.
Do they really?
Yeah. Usually after they bite someone, they're only going to live about 10 more days.
Really?
If they get to that point. It can take, up to 90 to 180 days for them to even show signs. So that's why, it can last for, they can have it
I
for a
wonder how a
long
little
time.
kitten got rabies.
She got bit. They
Got
had
bit
brought
by
her in
something else.
originally for a bite wound. Yeah.
No kidding.
And
See,
yeah,
I
and
never
just,
knew any of this stuff.
Right. But I figured, this cat should get sent out for testing, and we were all surprised when it came back positive, So then, and again, this was where I used to work, but I don't know, about 10 of us, I think, had to go and get vaccinated for rabies because,
Really?
we were all exposed.
Exposed. I gotta ask you before we go any further, how did you get started in this, and where did you go to school, and all that sort of stuff?
The number one question you get.
Yes. I guess as a kid, I always put on plays and with my cousins and my sister, and we would always pretend, I don't know, sometimes it was family stuff, and then other times it was, let's be a doctor today, and usually I wanted to be the vet because, I liked animals. So I guess that's where it kind of started, where the seed got put, and then, during college you change your mind 10 times or whatever, and
Where'd you go to college?
I went to Lake Erie College.
Yeah?
Yeah, in Painesville, so.
Are you from around here, or?
Geneva.
From Geneva, okay.
And actually I went for theater and psychology. Then after I graduated, I was like, I'm going to go to vet school. So
Really?
I took the classes, and then I headed down to Ross University, which is in St. Kitts, so in the West Indies. It's a Caribbean island. So I guess that's kind of how I got started.
You're so young, I can't believe you fit all this in your lifetime.
Oh, there's a lot of, Rebecca's fit in, I think, way more than any of us.
Right.
I have to mention Rebecca and Vanessa, who are absolutely fantastic with Cheyenne. Rebecca, she's the first girl you're going to meet when you walk in there, and Rebecca, you act like you're quite an animal lover.
Yes.
I mean, you talk to those animals like they're real little.
They are little people.
Yeah, little people. Yeah. Vanessa, you're the same way.
Yes.
And you almost act like a veterinarian to me yourself. I mean, have you had any training in veterinary school or anything like that?
Well, I went to Great Lakes Institute of Technology for veterinary assisting. That's just right over the pond in PA.
Yeah.
So that's where I got kind of like the basics. Though Ohio and Pennsylvania laws are, of course, very different.
I bet, yeah.
So I was working with Dr. Curie for about a year at their Geneva office.
Okay.
And he said, you know what, why don't you go to school? So 2 years into working with him, went back to school, and currently I'm in training to become a vet tech.
Really? Good for you.
Thank
Good
you.
for you. Do you girls live in Conneaut?
I do.
You do?
Well,
What about
Monroe.
I live in Geneva.
Geneva?
Yep.
Okay.
With my husband.
With your husband, yes. You just got married.
Yes, I do.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah. So are you back to work yet?
Today.
Today's the first day back on a
Yeah.
Friday. All right.
Yeah.
Very interesting. A lot of different things I got to ask you. You told me one time, I think it might have been Vanessa, that my dog always gets ear infections, and one of you girls told me that dogs with floppy ears get infections.
They're more likely to.
Yeah.
Because the ears hold in all that moisture, and if the air can't get to it and help circulate it out, then it just kind of gets trapped in there, gets
Yeah.
smushed up against the side of the ear canal.
Yeah.
And then a lot of times from there you can get bacteria and yeast and all sorts
Yeah.
of yucky stuff.
She's got the yeast thing. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. Steph, what about this time of year? Fleas. You mentioned ticks already. It's still warm. It's hot outside, so the fleas are still obviously out there. But should the dogs be put the stuff on them to keep fleas off even during the winter when it's cold and fleas should be dead? But
Yes, and actually there's a few options for flea prevention. There is a chewable, well, a couple chewables, and then there's topicals, and there's a new collar called Seresto. That is the only collar that works on them. But so there are
I think
three
I got
options.
one for Cheyenne.
Yep.
Right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
But yes.
And the cat, I
it's-
think, has one.
Yep. But it is important to keep year-round prevention, because the fleas might die off in the winter unless they're in your house. If they're in your house, they're nice and warm and cozy, and so they'll keep reproducing, and they
Right.
won't have any problem there.
Yeah.
And then, if you go over to a friend's house who has the fleas there, then you can take that egg back home with you,
Yeah.
and then your dog, or cat gets fleas again. Ticks can survive through the winter.
They can?
They are pretty hardy little bugs, and if there's a patch of grass that you see, there's bound to be a tick there, or it could be a tick in that.
What should
patch of
people
grass.
do if their animal does have, should they be checking their animals in when they come in from outside?
It'd be good to check for ticks. Now, when you have the little, before they start feeding, I mean, they're so tiny, it's very easy to miss them. Especially in long-haired animals, I would say. So sometimes you might not catch it, and that's where the flea prevention and tick prevention come in. That that tick gets on, and then it starts getting paralyzed, and so it'll fall off and die.
Is that collar that I got Cheyenne and the cat, would that
That
prevent
also,
ticks?
yeah, that also
Would it
that's
help?
flea and tick. Mhm.
Okay,
It
good.
actually helps them for 8 months too. As long
Really?
as you're not bathing them, with like Dawn dish soap or a detergent. So
Right, right.
it should last 8 months.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay, that's good to know. I told Michelle when she asked me about it, absolutely. I don't want to mess with these tick things. Because we can get that problem too. I have a cat that is very, very, and I don't understand this, and I told Michelle I would ask you. Got him as a little kitten. I adopted. All my animals are rescue animals, so I got this little kitten, and he was a sweet little kitten. But ever since we had him fixed, he's got a bad attitude. I mean, he does not let anybody come in the house. He's almost like a guardian cat. Like, he does not want anybody that he doesn't know in that house. He'll actually attack them. With us, he's fine. He's very, very loving and all that sort of stuff. But he doesn't. Is that normal for a cat to behave like that?
No, I wouldn't say so. I mean, cats are very independent.
Very.
And they typically prefer to be independent. I mean, they don't really, you can have other cats in the house, but sometimes there can be issues with other cats coming in. But I would say that, it's a very good chance that what happened was the socialization period, because you got him as a kitten or a little bit older.
Somebody had dropped him off. He was in a box. Somebody dropped him off in a box after he was born. So a young girl found him and raised him. And then her mother had asthma or something, could not have the cat anymore. So she asked if I would take, and I took the kitten at the time. So I don't know if that did something to him, because I took him away from what he knew.
Well, it could be more that he just wasn't exposed to the things that he should be exposed to, and so he wasn't able to learn, good.
He doesn't even know how to
behavior.
meow. He doesn't know anything because he didn't have a mother. He was taken away from the mother right
Yeah.
away.
I think that does happen, quite a bit.
Really?
It's
Yeah.
kind of like a monkey see, monkey do. If they don't have that parent or that other cat that teaches them the cat etiquette, then they're not gonna know it. And so
He does know how to bathe. He
That's
does
good.
that, but that might be inherited. Maybe you just know how to do that. I don't know, but it's a strange situation. I've never seen anything like it before.
Yeah. I mean, some cats, I mean, everyone has their own personality. All of us have our own personalities, and some people are more, shy, and some people are more aggressive, and, so that's kind of, I would say that's part of it is just the personality aspect. But then part of it is, he maybe wasn't exposed to the things that he should have been, or maybe, being a kitten in that previous household, it's hard to say what went on there, but if he was taught that it was okay to bite you or play with your hands or things like that, that's what he grew up knowing, and so that could have escalated even further. Is he declawed too? No, okay.
I wish he was, but somebody said that's inhumane to do. What do you think?
I don't
Agree with it.
Yeah, I don't agree with with decline. I mean, I think there's instances when you need to, but I think most of the time there's not a reason to do it. Because even in your case, if he was declawed, that could make him even more aggressive.
Really?
Because now he doesn't have any protection in these fingers, and so this is his protection. And so sometimes they get even more aggressive, or they could go the complete opposite way and be so fearful that they don't even want to be around you at all.
Yeah. I know that we have to behave him a lot because he likes to do this to the furniture. We have one chair that I just let him, that's it, that chair's ruined. But that's what he did since he was a baby. So if he does it on that chair, I don't say anything, but if he does it on the other chairs, he gets slapped a little bit. But cats are different. They're different than dogs. But he does he was raised with a dog, so he does one thing that's kind of dog-like. When I come home, or when she comes home, Michelle comes home, he greets us at the door.
My cats do the exact same thing.
Yeah,
I think they come home and they're like, food? Come on, we're
Yeah, you're here? Okay,
And I would say with the, with scratching the furniture, I mean, there's ways that we can help with that.
Really? Like what?
So there's a product called Feel Away. Feel Away is a synthetic pheromone. Pheromones are you can't smell them. You only detect them, and each pheromone is specific to each species. But the Feel Away is the pheromone. Well, there's now two Feel Aways, but the original Feel Away is the cheek pheromone. And so what that is a friendly pheromone. And if you get the spray and you spray it on the parts where he is scratching, cats typically don't want to scratch where there's good pheromones, because there's also scratching pheromones. So there's pheromones on their paws that when he scratched that piece of furniture, he put his pheromone there and said, this is okay to scratch, and he's going to keep going back to that place to scratch. I also tell, lots of clients to get several scratching posts. I mean, just have them in every single room in the house, if that's possible, you know, but especially near the places where he's scratching. So you do not spray the scratching post because you want them to scratch on it, but you do spray where you don't want them to scratch. Or there's other, things out there. So, double-sided sticky tape, but they've got special ones, plastic ones for the furniture that, if a cat puts their paws there, then it's sticky, and some cats will get deterred. No. Right? They don't want their paws sticking there. And then there's other little. But what you want, is to redirect them to something that's good. And then too, when you have the scratching post and you see them scratching on it, you should praise them up and down and give them treats. I mean, my cats. Well, when I lived in my apartment, the scratching post was like on the other side of the room from the front door, and when I would come home, they'd run to the scratching post and they'd scratch it, and then they'd look at me and they'd be like, "Did I do good?" And I'd be like, "Hey, good job."
Steffi, they're not dumb. Cats are very smart.
Cats can be trained. A lot of people think that cats, are, I I don't know the word, but a lot of people think that they can't be trained, but
I think
you know,
they can.
They can. They can be trained just as much as a dog can be trained.
But they're so odd because, you know, I'll go, his name's Zuko from the movie Avatar, and that's what the little girl named him. But I go, Zuki, and he won't look at me. It's like he just stares like he doesn't know I even exist. But when it's time to have his little kitty milk at night, he's right there at 9 o'clock waiting for you to get up and give it to him, you know. So they're not dumb. It's like they know what time it is, you know. What I was going to ask you, Stephanie, is can you operate, or do you operate out there, or how's that work?
We do space neuters
On small.
on small animals. So our table is kind of small, and so we can't really do more than like 50 or 60 pounds, kind of depending on the body size. And so we do space neuters, dentals, and again the dentals, you know, smaller animals.
Of course, a lot of the spaying is probably done when they're young, right? So they're not
It should,
real old.
well, it should be. That's the best time to do it because, you know, especially in like female dogs, once they start getting older, they develop a lot of fat around their ovaries, and so it gets to be really tricky to go in there.
Really?
And, you know, it's slippery and it's hard to find them, and yeah.
How old should a dog or a puppy be before they can be neutered?
Usually, I mean, there's differing thoughts now. Some people are doing it at pediatric, but I typically do around 5-6 months of age is where I, you know, when
Really?
I'll do it.
They should be that old.
Yeah,
before-
but some people have been doing it earlier. You know,
I think I had to wait 3 months for Cheyenne.
Yeah, they're doing some studies now to see, you know, is there going to be any long-term effects if you were to neuter or spay earlier in development.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know, I'll take that back. The APL just, took care of Cheyenne. That was part of the deal. I think it was the cat I had to wait 3 months, maybe. I had to wait a while, I know,
That sounds
before
about right.
he could go in there. And then once they got there, he got into his mean spell. Maybe that turned him angry. I don't know. It should have, but they had a hard time. As a matter of fact, they kicked him out of the animal clinic that he was at because they said he's too mean. We don't want him here. And I took him home the first day, and he was all drugged up still and everything else. But also wanted to ask you too: are there any other things that people should do to protect their animals? I know they should be probably checked at least once a year, right? At least.
Right, at least once a year. When they start getting older, you know, it's good to even do every 6 months, sometimes every 3 months, depending on if they've got issues, you know, like liver, kidney, that type of thing. But definitely yearly, because animals, you know, they're still animals. They know how to hide diseases, and they don't tell you all the time. You know, you have to, sometimes it's real subtle signs, and you have to be really aware of if they're showing you anything. But that's why it's, you know, always good to bring them in yearly. I mean, it's good for us to go in yearly and get blood work done too, you know?
Right.
But yeah, getting a baseline when they're younger so that we can kind of see trends, you know, going. And if things start to creep up, then we might be like, well, hey, let's do this supplement, or let's try this, and, you know, see if we can prevent something from happening.
Sure. What's the normal lifespan of a dog? 10 years?
It really depends on body size. You know, some of the larger animals, you know, Great Danes, they may go,
8.
yeah,
8
eight,
years is a long time
That's
for a
it.
Dane.
you know,
That's
8 to 10. Some of the little ones, you know, can go up to 16, 15, 16.
Really? I know
Um,
cats live a lot longer than dogs.
Yeah, well, now they do. If they're outside, they typically don't have a very long lifespan.
Really?
But inside, they can live, you know,
I
yeah,
had,
15 to 18.
I had a cat that lived to be 19 years old.
Mhm.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We had to put him down, or put her down because I think she had a stroke or something. And
That's
was
what happened to mine. She made it to 17.
Did you?
Yeah.
Did she?
They live a long time.
Yeah. Well, you give them a good life, and they're not outside exposed to the elements and all that sort of stuff. Anything else that we should know about pet care?
Oh man, we could be here all day. There's so much that everybody needs to know.
Yeah.
I know you see when you're a layperson, you really don't know. You got the animal because you fell in love with it, but then after that, you don't know. You
Right.
know? And I hate to say it, back when I was a kid, when we had our dogs, I don't think we ever took our dog to a vet.
Right.
Back in those days, back in the '60s, you just didn't.
That wasn't the thing.
No,
Yeah.
no. But now it's like Cheyenne might as well move into your office because she's got all kinds of things wrong with her that we didn't even know,
Right.
until she got
Right.
checked out. So,
Sure. Yeah. No, I think we've covered a lot.
The basics.
Yeah, the basics. I think when you're, looking at getting an animal, you really need to consider your lifestyle, and how much are you going to be able to attend to that animal or give
Sure.
that animal time.
Exactly.
And then to look at the breed itself, and if you have questions on breeds, definitely call us, because we will go through, because, you get these bigger dogs, labs and German Shepherds. These things need to run, but a lot of people put them in an apartment.
That's
Right,
not good.
right.
Gee, I wonder why they're chewing your shoes up. I don't know. Maybe because they're bored. But it's always good to just think of that type of thing. And even with cats, how much time are you going to be able to spend with them? How many cats do you have? Do you have a big enough house to have that many cats? 'Cause
Right,
a cat,
right.
Needs a lot of space. So, some cats can get along with each other and some don't. Yeah, and then, I don't know.
The
anything
cost.
else?
Always be aware
Cost,
of
yes.
emergencies.
Always be aware, yes.
Have you ever seen a show called Dr. Jeff? He's a veterinarian. It's brand new on one of the reality
Oh,
shows.
I saw Dr. Pole, but I didn't know
Yeah,
about
Dr.
Dr.
Pole.
Jeff.
That's
Dr.
that
Jeff.
new
He does it as he loves animals, and he must have made a lot of money because homeless people go to him with their animals, and he goes, the worst thing that he sees is homeless people with an animal because they can't take care of themselves.
Right.
And then how are you going to take care of an animal? And it's a great show. It's on Saturday nights, I think it is. But he does help people preserve their animals and not put them down. He does not believe in putting down the animals if he can help it. Do you have to do that there?
Euthanasias?
Yeah. Really?
Unfortunately.
I hate that when you have to do that. But there's the times that you have to.
Yes.
Right.
You just have to.
Right.
And that's what we look for the most, is the ones that need it.
Yeah. Hi, you're on the air. Hello? You're on the air. It's disconnected. Okay, you can call back real quick. This girl's got to go to work. Well, I know you girls are so thorough. You explain everything well to the people that have their pets there, and I'll try this one more time. Hi, you're on the air.
Hi, Pat.
Hi.
This is Mary.
Hi, Mary.
That show you were talking about, the Mountain Doctor,
Yes.
I watch that every Saturday. That is so wonderful. That guy, some doctors will charge you thousands of dollars for something, and he only charges under $1,000.
Yeah, he
to do
does.
things.
Yeah, he does that. Yeah.
He said he couldn't understand why doctors charge so much for something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And he is wonderful to watch. Have you watched him?
Oh yeah, I've watched him several times the last few weeks. I just discovered it. Yeah.
I said, he is such a wonderful man, I'll tell you. I can't remember if he had cancer or something, and then he started this business, and his daughter and that work with him and that.
Yeah, I did not know about the cancer thing, but yeah, he does a tremendous job.
Oh, he is. I like watching him.
Yep.
No,
Yeah.
I thought I'd call in and let you know.
Okay. Thanks, Mary.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Okay. Yeah, I like the fact that you explain things and are very thorough. I think that's a good thing that you girls do. All of you do, and I appreciate
Sure.
that.
Well, I think it's, that's what people want.
Yeah.
Things explained. And I will just say too, you know, at Conneaut, we definitely do care about behavior in animals, and so we will do behavioral counseling if needed. So, you know, separation anxieties and things like that. And then we also offer acupuncture as a treatment.
Do animals actually have acupuncture?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's neat. I did see a sign in the office on that.
Yeah.
We have quite
so-
a few patients that come in for it actually.
Really?
And it really helps them.
Yeah,
It
we have
does.
one that he comes in and he walks a little funny. He has some issues, and when he comes walking out, he almost walks like a normal dog. And that was my
It
first.
really helps.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
I hadn't learned about it until I met Dr. Stephanie. I knew nothing of acupuncture, and I saw it on that dog, and I was like, it works.
I'll be darned.
He walks out of there, and he's almost like a normal dog when he leaves.
I'll be
Yeah.
darned. That's interesting. Well, I want to wish you all a lot of luck, and hope you get some more patients out of this. I know you've been busy, but you do a tremendous job out there. Keep up the great work, and I'm really, really proud that Dr. Curry located here. It was much needed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was.
Well, it was a long time coming, I know.
Yeah. He's been on the show. He did a tremendous job. He comes in real
Yeah.
relaxed and talked. He got some phone calls and that. So good luck to you, girls.
Well, thank
Okay?
you. And
Yeah,
thanks for having us on the
Thanks for
show.
coming in. I appreciate it.